Are you curious about awakening your Kundalini, but want to make sure that you're doing it safely without overwhelming your system or spinning out? Today, I'm going to talk you through 5 safe yet powerful ways to awaken your Kundalini, even if you're a complete beginner. And make sure to stay till the end because I'm going to walk you through a real story about what can happen if your Kundalini activates too quickly and how to avoid it. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Lisa. I'm a Kundalini master and the founder of Kundalini Embodiment, and everything I share here is coming from direct lived experience, not from secondhand ancient teachings, but actually walking through the fire of my own Kundalini awakening for the last 10 years. This is a path of real embodiment, real mastery, and real support in your Kundalini awakening journey. Number 1, conscious activation with the facilitator. The first path is working with a Kundalini facilitator, someone who is offering Kundalini activation or even sometimes Kundalini yoga, but it's important to be discerning. It's important to make sure that whatever facilitator you work with has not just experienced an activation themselves, but has actually walked themselves through the integration process in their own bodies, in their own lived experience. So they're not regurgitating the teachings, they're living it, and therefore they can hold a safe, a trauma-informed space. They also have an understanding of the subtle energies and the astral realms, which is something that a lot of Kundalini activation facilitator trainings don't offer. But it's really important when you're working with these subtle energies to understand what is actually in the space and how to hold a safe space. It's also important that they understand sovereignty. They understand that they're not activating you, they're not putting some energy in you that is not already yours. They are offering a transmission of their own embodiment, their own wholeness, so that your system remembers that. And what this does is it catalyzes your own awakening rather than creating dependency. Number 2, movement. The second path is movement. This could be yoga, this could be shaking, this could be intuitive dance. The key is listening. Listening intuitively, letting your body move the way it wants to. Your body knows the way home. When you give it permission, when you give it the space to move, to unwind, to shake, to express, that Kundalini will slowly, gently start to awaken. It will know what to do and it will lead you home. Number 3, breathing practices. The breath is one of the most powerful ways to work with life force energy. It can remove blockages, stimulate stagnant energy, stabilize the nervous system, or just prepare the body to hold more life force. So whether it's gentle grounding breath work or even more activating breath work, both can support you in awakening the Kundalini in a safe and graceful way. Number 4, plant medicines. If you're working with sacred medicines, it's really important that you have stabilized your nervous system beforehand, that you're working with a facilitator who is seasoned and ethical in their approach, that you are setting devotional intentions, and that you're leaving space for grounding and integration afterwards. These medicines can catalyze huge openings, but it's really important to prepare yourself beforehand, because if it happens too fast, it can overwhelm your system and actually create more trauma and prolong the integration process. So if you're choosing this path, then listen to your body, listen to your intuition, and make sure that you work with someone who really knows what they're doing and can hold that space safely. Number 5, sacred sexuality. Conscious sexual energy, whether with yourself or with a partner, can open up the heart and open up the root and allow the Kundalini energy to start to move more freely through your body. If you're connecting with a partner who has already experienced a Kundalini awakening, sometimes it can awaken that energy from within you as well. And you experience an activation through the act of making love with someone. But it's important to approach this not from a place of performance, not from a place of trying to achieve some sort of goal, but from a place of real love and reverence. And in this way, sexuality is an incredibly sacred act that can support you in awakening your Kundalini. An important note for all of these practices is that no matter what you're doing, Kundalini has an intelligence of its own. So sometimes awakenings actually happen spontaneously. Sometimes they happen through practices with intention and devotion. But the Kundalini knows what it's doing. It's important to develop a relationship with her, to learn to trust her, to allow her to gently and gracefully teach you what you need to learn in your own time. Post-awakening, grounding is key, because it's not just about the awakening, but how you integrate that, how your nervous system can hold that energy after the awakening is what's going to carry you into the rest of your life. So, some grounding practices that are helpful is walking around barefoot in nature, spending time in nature, eating grounding and nourishing foods, grounding breathing practices, yoga practices, movement practices, and just honoring the natural rhythm of your system and your body. I once worked with a client who awakened his Kundalini too quickly for his system to handle during a DMT journey. He blasted off, his nervous system wasn't ready to hold it, and as a result, he was incredibly overwhelmed, was having a lot of intense emotions coming up, a lot of fear. He was in a form of existential crisis because he completely disconnected from his body. So in working together, we brought him back into his body through breathing, through conscious awareness, through Kundalini practices that I teach through my methodology. And eventually it stabilized his nervous system so that he could hold the energy safely, and it recalibrated his entire life. But it took time. So this is why I often tell people, slow is fast. Go at the pace that your nervous system can hold, because otherwise you're creating unnecessary trauma and fear in your system, and it can actually take longer if you blast off too quickly than if you actually awaken it in a more slow and gentle and graceful pace. This is part of the difference between Kundalini embodiment and Kundalini activation. A lot of people are teaching Kundalini activation, helping people just to unlock the channels. But through Kundalini embodiment, you're actually learning how to integrate the activation into your everyday experience so it actually benefits you in your daily life. It's not just a peak experience that you have in a workshop. It's something that you're living with and breathing with, and it's informing your life and bringing you into greater alignment with your truth. And this creates more joy and fulfillment in the long run. If you're ready to start your Kundalini awakening journey in a safe and grounded way, I have a free Kundalini Mastery Starter Kit that you can get at the link below. And if you want more grounded content about the Kundalini awakening path, make sure to subscribe. Your body already knows the way. I'm just here to help you remember.